What was following them during the time of Exodus? God. It's right here in the Kolbrin Bible. The people spoke of the God of the slaves, and reckless men said, if we knew where this God were to be found, we would sacrifice to him. But the God of the slaves was not among them. He was not to be found within the swamp lands or in the brick pits. His manifestation was in the heavens for all men to see, but they did not see with understanding. Nor would any God listen, for all were dumb because of the hypocrisy of men. They don't even get it.
Oh my God. Somebody's down right now. Somebody's down right here. Somebody's down. Just go there. We cannot do nothing for her. Oh my God. Oh, there. Just go. Oh my God. Oh, there. Just go. We cannot do nothing for her. What the fuck, dude?
When Christ said, hey, when I come, everybody gonna see me coming, bruh. What you think he talking about? He coming with myriads of he coming with 10,000 saints and myriads of angels. Tens of thousands of saints and myriads of angels. You hear me? We gotta get images out of our mind. Our images. That's why he tells us, do not make an image of anything in heaven, on the earth. This is why this is a commandment. Because these images destroy reality. It stops you from. It stops your spirit from being open to see the true possibilities or to even read the scriptures in its true context. It'll hinder that. Having an image in your mind will stop you from reading scripture in its true context. Because you have an image in your mind of how it should look. Let me read that one more time. The people spoke of the God of the slaves, and reckless men said, if we knew where this God were to be found, we would sacrifice to him. But the God of the slaves was not among them. He was not to be found within the swamp lands or in the brick pits. His manifestation was in the heavens for all men to see, but they did not see with understanding. Nor would any God listen, for all were dumb because of the hypocrisy of men. They couldn't see nothing because of the hypocrisy. Their leaders were hypocrites. So they were all spiritually ignorant. Sound familiar? Manuscript 6:7. The dead were no longer sacred and were thrown into the waters. Those already entombed were neglected, and many became exposed. They lay unprotected against the hands of thieves. He who once toiled long in the sun, bearing the yoke himself, now possessed oxen. He who grew no grain now owned a storehouse full. He who once dwelt at ease among his children now thirsted for water. He who once sat in the sun with crumbs and dregs was now bloated with food. He reclined in the shade, his bowels overflowing. Yeah. Cattle were left unattended to roam into strange pastures, and men ignored their marks and slew the beasts of their neighbors. No man owned anything. Sound familiar? It's apocalyptic. People jump into ocean to escape raging Maui wildfires. Let's dig into this. Wildfires in Hawaii, fanned by strong winds, burned multiple structures in areas including historic Lahaina town, forcing evacuations and closing schools in several communities Wednesday. And rescuers pulled a dozen people escaping smoke and flames from the ocean. The U.S. Coast Guard responded to areas where people went into the ocean to escape the fire and smoky conditions, the county of Maui said in a statement. The Coast Guard tweeted a crew rescued 12 people from the water off Lahaina. The county tweeted that multiple roads in Lahaina were closed with the warning, do not go to
Lahaina town. Fire was widespread in Lahaina, including Front Street, an area of the town popular with tourists. County of Maui spokeswoman Mahina Martin said in a phone interview early Wednesday, traffic has been very heavy as people try to evacuate, and officials asked people who weren't in an evacuation area to shelter in place to avoid adding to the traffic, she said. Sounds like panic to me. The days of tourism are over. The days of frivolous living are over. There's no more enjoyment here on the face of the earth. There's nothing but judgment. Whether people want to accept this or not will totally depend on you. And as we get closer to the end of August, when BRICS meets in South Africa, things will just heat up. No pun intended. You feel?
Do it sound familiar, bro? I mean, this nation is following the footsteps of Egypt and Rome. Ain't it? We just read how it was parallel to Rome the other day on TikTok. Now we're seeing the parallels to Egypt. So now the back of your dollar makes perfect sense. The public records, now this is coming, the public records were cast forth and destroyed, and no man knew who were slaves and who were masters. That's about to come. Credit all that about to cease to exist. The people cried out to the Pharaoh in their distress, but he stopped his ears and acted like a deaf man. Just like they doing right now. Don't hear nothing you talking about, but Ukraine get it all. You hear me? Dust and smoke clouds darkened the sky and colored the waters upon which they fell with a bloody hue. Plague was throughout the land. The river was bloody and blood was everywhere. The water was vile and men's stomachs shrank from drinking. Sound like wormwood, right? Those who did drink from the river vomited up, for it was polluted, just like the air right now. You do understand once the air is polluted, the water's next. I'm just saying. Has anybody thought about that yet? I know I have. Soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, I see what's happening here. As soon as the air is polluted, your water is next, my good friends. You hear me? Manuscript 612. The dust tore wounds in the skin of man and beast. In the glow of the destroyer, the earth was filled with redness. Vermin bred and filled the air and face of the earth with loathsomeness.